Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda. Off here to our 1v1 on the road to Tunis. In the west stands VonIvan, the man who puts the fun in Ivan. Taking on the role here of the 21st Panzerdivision. Second Panzergrenadier Company here. He goes to war for the fatherland, looking to clash here with the Tommies under the command of F3rig. Fighting here for the British Empire. Rolling out here with the 1st Armoured Division, we got a Vickers start here from F3rig. An interesting opening here. We also got Breakthrough here alongside a Coh3 start here from VonIvan. So that likely means, of course, a bunch of MP40 Grenadiers here. In the south, Coh3 rushes forward. Certainly MP40 strats can be a bit tough to deal with as the Brits, at least for now. But again, MP40s and MP42s have been confirmed to get nerfed in the upcoming patch here on Tuesday. So that should certainly lead to some interesting developments. But in the south here, Vickers moving in here. I imagine a section there for F3rig, VonIvan, and F3rig kind of focusing more on the south side of the map here, with only a single pioneer squad from VonIvan braving the harsh north of the road to Tunis. As always, by the way, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters for the continued and generous support of the Propagandacaster, and allowing me to keep making all these videos day after day, month after month. So big thanks to all those wonderful chaps and chapettes. And of course, a big hearty thanks to the less sung of heroes, the people who just press the like button and, you know, comment on my videos. Helps the YouTube algorithms get the videos out to more people. So big thanks to all those for doing their part. Second Grenadier squad here for VonIvan though, and the 21st Panzerdivision, Coh3 rapidly gobbling up as much terrain here. Certainly on a map like Road to Tunis, the Coh3 is particularly excellent. So Vickers moving forward here for F3rig. VonIvan quickly, of course, scooping up as much munitions and fuel as you can in the early game, particularly because it does want those MP40s up in its Grenadiers as soon as possible here. Sappers in the center, section bringing northwards over the Lee Enfield Mark IV rifles. One of two main rifles the British Army used in the Second World War. There's also the SMLE, or short magazine Lee Enfield, that primarily being used more by troops from the east, I believe, on Scotland. I think also some troops from Britain will also use it. So Vickers moving northwards there, I believe it was the Australians, I think, amongst other things, that used the SMLE. But I could be wrong there, admittedly. Either way, Vickers setting up here. Grenadiers are able to flank here, using the heavy cover to avoid most of the pressure fire, forcing F3rig into an immediate retreat. Sappers here versus the Grenadiers, immediately losing Jenkins up there as he gets shot through the head. More Grenadiers here for VonIvan, as up north the Pioneers are running into the infantry section here. The Lee Enfields and that revolver there are making a alarmingly short work over the Pioneers, so absolutely stand no chance. They might be able to grab the victory point, but they will absolutely not be able to hold it. Center being grabbed here, south being grabbed. Third Grenadier squad out here for VonIvan, and he can now equip his men with the MP40s, the Maschinenpistole 40, which was basically a improved version of the MP38. Primarily, the improvements were just in how to make the thing faster and more cheaper, since the early one was basically machined, the other one was just largely made out of stamp metal. That was actually one of the hallmarks of German weapons making, small arms weapon manufacture, actually, as the war went on, is just they were really, really good at the whole stamp metal stuff. I mean, they could, you know, get stuff out relatively fast. So, MP40 is there, equipped for the Grenadier. Could we see another one here from VonIvan, and then there's some infantry officer quarters, so it would fit the bill here. Grenadiers been quadrupled by the flamethrower team there, firing the number 2 flamethrowers in the buildings, hoping not to, you know, light the entire thing on fire in the process. Watch out there, Jeremy. We don't want to light up the entire house. Again, I'm sorry, it was one time only. You almost burned up the field marshal. Oh, I said I was sorry. More Grenadiers for VonIvan. Vickers setting up here. Pioneers pushing forwards here. Grenadiers buying time here inside the building, but they're under intense British scrutiny there. And up north here, MP40 Grenadiers pushing in here. Further up north here, section flanking in there on the Grenadiers. Could sandwich them between two Lee Enfield wielding sections there. Grenadiers backing out here as the threat from F3rig here is simply put too, well, harsh. Grenadiers swing up in the section there. A lot of action, a lot of maneuvering here. Grenadiers being attacked with the section from cell sides. Of course, we got the flamethrower section there, burning through the Germans here rapidly. More MP40s there for the wait for VonIvan's Grenadier. Very good. No officer quarters though. So he has actually gone for the medical station, which is interesting because one of the reasons why the infantry officer quarters is so popular with the MP40 Grenadier strat, it's not just, you know, you get fast veterans 1 and fast veterans 2 and 3, but it's also you get access to the med kit, so you can actually delay the medical station upgrade. So an interesting move there by VonIvan. Interesting move. and I think just worth pointing out there. North Grenadiers being surrounded by the sections here, popping over to F3rig here, who at this point has yet to pick a battle group here versus VonIvan. My guess, though, would be the Indian Artillery battle group. It is by far the most popular battle group because it offers some very good abilities and some very nice support stuff there. But it could surprise us with British Armoured or even the British Air and Sea battle group. We'll of course have to see what decision here F3rig makes versus VonIvan. We got a Recce section equipped there, providing him with Scopely Enfields there, amongst other things. Grenadier pushing forward here. VonIvan really leading on map control. Of course, part of this is the Coh3, now a bit caked up there with sand. Its sheer mobility and capture speed, they're allowing it to grab a lot of terrain there, if you can sort of like, avoid it getting destroyed immediately, which is typically what happens with me. I lose my Coh3s very fast. I'm not good at keeping them alive at all, but in the hands of a more, adroit player like VonIvan, they can be very powerful tools. You can see that he's control like almost the entire map, and certainly I'd say the Coh3 has played a significant role here. VonIvan with the Panzergrenadier Company here, 21st Panzer Unit, of course, bringing in more stuff here. We got meanwhile though F3rig moving for the platoon command post, deciding, of course, something with a bit more here to match the Germans. We're also worth noting 4 sections here from F3rig. Bit of an interesting build here. Most British builds I've noticed don't actually go this heavy on the infantry section, so it is worth noting here from F3rig. He's gone like pretty hard on them. Plus, of course, that fast Vickers. Bit of an interesting build here from F3rig. Bit of an interesting build. Section of ground on the fuel point. Grenadiers moving from cell science with MP40s. The Maschinenpistole in 40. The most used submachine in the German army, but far not the only one. There's obviously the case of the MP38, but also older German submachine guns like the MP, I believe it's 34, for example, also saw service. Plus, of course, a vast number of submachine guns for like they captured, and Sten guns and PPSH-41s in particular used in large numbers in that regard. North here, Coh3 laying down mines. Thumbs up here. Grenadiers pushing in. Sending seas for the section here. A lot of action. Back and forth here between VonIvan and F3rig, as both are looking to get the upper hand. But so far, VonIvan there using his Grenadiers and his Coh3 rather adroitly are very much doing a good job here in messing with F3rig here. And the 1st Armoured Division. Grenadiers are being burned up at the Veterans 1 Sappers here. Forcing withdrawal here. Never mind the threat of the number 69 hand grenade, which, while he's shown as sort of like a more regular grenade, was actually known as a percussive grenade, meaning it detonated upon impact. Fun fact there. British ranks in general, it seems, somewhat big fans of percussive grenades. It's something I've noticed. The South here section moving in as well. So Panzergrenadier Company up here, and we got a very early Nebelwerfer for VonIvan. That is an interesting pick here. Mortar there for F3rig. I mean, obviously looking to bombard some of F3rig's positions. Probably also deal with any support weapons, but having said that, I mean, fast Nebelwerfer is highly non-meta there. That is, up there with fast Stummel. Honestly, I think here might actually make a bit more sense than a fast Nebelwerfer, but that's just me. We do get a battle group pick here. It is, in fact, the British Armoured battle group here from F3rig, and I think under current circumstances, probably planning something like the Crusader into either Black Prince or the Churchill tank. We'll have to see here. Grenadier pushing forwards, immediately losing Ludwig here as a shot that pierces his helmet, and the more important bits the helmet was meant to cover. Grenadiers pushing back the section here. South here, Vickers pushed back the Pioneers. Got mines here. Good work by F3rig. South side is being steadily fortified. And now we got the Nebelwerfer unleashing a rocket volley here upon F3rig. The building there, having its roof cave in under intense rocket fire here and being lit up. Meanwhile, up north here, section being pushed back as VonIvan launches a mass infantry assault team with MP40 Grenadiers blazing in there. And F3rig's entire northern front here looks completely off the hook. This could become rather devastating. We also got here a Sturmgeschützreihe for VonIvan. 2 thumbs up. Adding some armor here to support the 21st Panzerdivision's assault here upon the British positions of the 1st Armoured Division. Saps in trouble. Vickers, though, has managed to turn around till he stopped part of the assault here. But will it be enough? Sections deep trouble here as the Grenadiers outpace the Vickers, forcing more F3rig's men to withdraw here. A massive push. And there we go. VonIvan diving in deeper and more aggressively here. Mortars, though, landing here amongst the Grenadiers, taking several men with them, but still a brutal push. Grenade assault here, catching several of the Vickers crewmen down retreat here. Could see a wipe here, though, on one of VonIvan's Grenadier squads here. A Spectacular push here by VonIvan. That was incredibly well set up there. Next, Needle have to sort of initially soften things up, then the flank hit, and then the Stug pushing in from another angle here. f3rig was absolutely not ready for this. So that was a really impressive push. That said, he does get a bit of vengeance, knocking out the cannon crowd with the 6-pounder gun. Hey, watch this! What? Boom. Ah, nice one, Terrence. My name's Nathan. Really? Yeah. Oh. Wrong Terrence then. Well, I suppose. Leave over fire here. And back to VonIvan, who's going to leave a rapid production. Probably also having to get out that Stug fast, as it does provide a nice build speed. I mean, 50% means you can get a Stug's really fast. Once you get going here, guessing he's going to push straight for the Stug here. We got mines there, of course, a bit further. He's pushed back the flamethrower, really making a hell of an impact on VonIvan's kind of dealer. South side team moving up here, threatening the flank once more. f3rig here. And it's, I think, also worth pointing out so far. VonIvan's been like pretty good at like finding like, you know, the weak spots in f3rig's line on those flanks and exploit them rapidly with his MP40 grenadiers. 2 thumbs up. Most players, I think, would have been fairly content just marching head on into gunfire, but VonIvan, of course, realizing his grenadiers are going to get a lot more mileage if they actually appear from an angle where they don't get immediately shot at.
Bastards have secured our territory from us.
Grenadiers will need to withdraw here before they get wiped out of the recce section here. Of course, this does feel like a bit of a familiar strategy for those who remember VonIvan from Companies 2, where he was a big fan of mechanized assault, which of course featured a lot of assault grenadiers. This feels like a bit like a return to form here for VonIvan. Got the grenadiers being caught here in the south by the Crusader tank here, ripping through the grenadiers, immediately dropping Reinhold and Rudolf there, like a pair of two sacks there from a Stuttgart potato elevator. Forcing back the grenadiers here. In the south here, Pioneer's about to get around into trouble with the Crusaders, so f3rig there clearly looking to turn the tide here with some faster anti-aircraft tanks. Of course, there's the Stug, that's going to fall a bit short, and the Needle could also prove to be a problem for the 6-pounder gun here, making it harder for f3rig to actually halt the Stug. So definitely some risks here for f3rig with this strategy here. Big risks potentially in the south here. Grenadiers crashing the recce section, regular section actually, not recce. Crusader flanking in here, that's going to, I think, force here VonIvan to withdraw his grenadiers before they get turned into a pulp. Like fine Stuttgart mashed potatoes after, you know, finding those drop sacked potatoes. Pioneers also was the draw here. Then he's catching the recce section north. Another Sturmgeschütz out. Worth knowing, of course, he has gone for the officer quarters here to get them immediate veterans. 1, also his Needlewerfer. 2 thumbs up here to VonIvan. This does unlock the white phosphorus barrage on the Needlewerfer, though that one is typically less picked. But it is an option here, as it basically combines the incendiary element here, you know, doing a lot of damage, also a bit more, I think, splash damage, but also you get basically, you know, line of sight blockage as the white phosphorus, of course, generates smokes as well. In fact, white phosphorus is kind of initially intended to just be used to, like, create smoke screens. It's just, you know, turns out is really, really, really toxic and nasty, so, you know, throwing it at the enemy, you know, works really well. Ooh, straight to money from f3rig. Or not. Sort of, at least. Anyways, Crusader 10 there with its Bofors 40mm anti-aircraft gun there, ripping through the grenadiers. And looks to be another 6-pounder gun here for f3rig. Grenadiers being straight up catching here. f3rig's mortar team here, the 3-inch mortar team here. Grenadiers being ripped apart by Bofors fire. Need to retreat these grenadiers before they get murdered out. In the far south here, we got the sappers moving forward here. Panzerfaust and the Crusader tank there. Sturmgeschütze moving up. In the south, both upgrading the Pinlock machine gun, thumbs up. And the Vickers here is being hit with fierce incendiary fire from the Needlewerfer, lighting things up quite brutally in the center. f3rig and the 1st Armored Division masses from the Sword Teeth VonIvan center. Actually a bit open to this, as he doesn't have a lot of force concentration here, and his Stugs are busy in the south for now. 461, 21, f3rig definitely behind the victory points here. Will need to do something to restore a bit of control here against VonIvan and his merry band of Germans. And we got a 3rd Sturmgeschütz for VonIvan. 2 thumbs up.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Getting a bunch of Stugs going is typically a very good idea.
Stuck is reporting for duty.
Of course, he should remember to support them with infantry. In fact, once they started got like handed out to like infantry divisions, Guderian actually send out instructions to like the various divisional commanders to make sure they were all supported by the best infantry in the division to assemble a platoon effect of them to support the Stugs. So, you know, very important to keep your Stugs working with his infantry. North East is being about here, and he does have like a good amount of infantry, all those MP40 Grenadiers. On top of the new FDA's charging in the bit blinding, and crucially, it's the Stugs leading the charge, which is a bit reckless, and the infantry isn't quite able to keep pace here. Nebelwerfer. Yeah, this is definitely a bit of an ill-advised assault here by VonIvan. Stug is about to get knocked out. I would definitely recommend sending the Grenadiers first to do a bit of reconnaissance, then deploy the Nebelwerfer, maybe the White Foster's barrage. Charging the Stug into the base, pursuing here F3rig's Crusader anti-aircraft tank, getting pelted with anti-tank grenades, could lose another Stug here. Definitely not a good push here, but VonIvan in the end has so far lost 2 Stugs with minimal losses inflicted in F3rig. Obviously got a few kills here and there, but nothing to quite make up for the loss of 2 Stugs. I mean, he does still get to hold most of the map, so it's not a complete waste either, but I'd still not quite say worth enough to, like, you know, make up for the loss of 2 full Stug 3Gs. That was definitely a bit of a fumble there.
Damn it. The enemy holds all victory points.
Definitely think that assault could have been coordinated a bit better, but there's also the question should have been made in the first place. I mean, definitely, I say that part because I keep making that mistakes on this map. It's those kind of like big pushes you see can be a bit more dangerous to commit to unless you got like a really properly planned out. So now Fanti, of course, with the 2 Stugs removed, has a bit more room to sort of move about in. We'll have to see, does it go here for the Churchill 4? Is it going to be the Churchill Black Prince? Guessing Black Prince, it is popular in that sense, up north here hitting a mine, but no immediate German response here except a Stug there from VonIvan. Then he's in trouble further south here. Pioneers is marching on the Sun Victory Point here. But yeah, at this point it does look like F3rig is dreaming of the Churchill Black Prince here. Sturmgeschütz bring up north, and we got another fresh Sturmgeschütz here for VonIvan. Got mortar on the Grenadiers, ripping through the Grenadiers in the center being mauled as well here. And we got 25-pounder gunfire here from F3rig. One of his recce section that deployed the Fort Observatory barrage here. Calling it in here. Nebelwerfer power meanwhile here from VonIvan's raining down death here on the Vickers, but the 6-pounder guns are threatening to make short work of the Stug. Grenades as well here. Could cost him. Vickers though goes down. Up north, it almost sounds like he got a wipe there, but looks like a few poor saps got out of that one alive. The Stug also somehow survives the encounter, though with limited health left here. We even got rapid fire here from F3rig's Crusader tank, hoping to get one lucky shot for the front line. Meanwhile, Stug dives in from the rear, hoping to take care of it. I feel like that's a bit of a blunder here by VonIvan. It's going to throw away another Stug here, unfortunately, without getting the Crusader tank here. Big win again here for F3rig versus VonIvan. South side being grabbed here with the sapper section. He is not too far away from that Crusader. Oh, Crusader with Churchill Black Prince here. So he's 3 Stugs down now. 1 still left here for VonIvan. Nebelwerfer. Actually, half 8 of actually 2. Not shabby. We got 140 to 456. Big gap here in terms of victory points still between F3rig and VonIvan. But with the losses inflicted on VonIvan, there's definitely a chance I think F3rig to catch up. Maybe even overtake VonIvan. So how will VonIvan respond to this now is the big question. Will he try and take up? Will he just push more Stugs? Will he keep throwing away Stugs? Got what looks to be an incendiary bomb running for VonIvan. It's also a bit interesting, like, instead of like just going straight for the Tiger tank, which appears to be his initial move, he's actually been like going for like various other abilities here. Which is definitely a bit unusual. Unusual doesn't have to mean bad, it just, you know, means out of the ordinary. Here, at least. And what is this? A command tank. So he's not going for the Tiger, he's going for the Befehls Panzerkampfwagen 4. An interesting move here by VonIvan. Definitely not your most common pick here. I know some players are big fans of the command tank, but generally I haven't really seen it much outside of a few matches, and personally I just don't really like it. I do prefer the Tiger tank over it. All the way rushing forward to the field. Panzerkampfwagen 4 here. Back to VonIvan. So racing at the recce section up north. VonIvan still enjoying a significant victory point here. F3rig is like also pretty quick to pop flares here and there. In part, I think to make it easier for him to, like, you know, decide ahead of time to like want to move up and want to tank and say in case, for example, VonIvan was to like hide a lot of grenadiers here, he would probably not pull in the anti-tank gun there. Command 10 there firing high explosive shells. If you actually need on the Wehrmacht Panzer IV, you need to switch between arm-piercing or anti-infantry on the high explosive rounds. That's a bit of an interesting side note there.
The infantry are trying to kill us.
So we'll have to see how it makes use of the command tank, but it's definitely not a commonly seen unit. South side, we got the Crusader tank forward, so going to engage the Grenadiers on the south side. Sturmgeschütz pushing southwards. And sounds like a smoke barrage up north is an incendiary bomber. Is smoke here to close up the machine gun's line of fire. Nicely used here by VonIvan. Thumbs up. Definitely not ability to see too much too often here, so again, nicely VonIvan at least make use of it. 2 thumbs up. Stug pushing here for the Crusader tank. Deutschland vorwärts. Crusader tank horse bouncing off its shots as they fail to penetrate the 80mm frontal armor and the Sturmgeschütz. 6-pounder guns being held southwards. Command tank rushing towards the center, but limited without support here. And further up north, the Grenadiers poking in the noses. Diving in with the command tank here feels a bit risky. Shot fired, whiffed. Enemy going to tank grenades in the command tank. Multiples here. Damaging the engine here of the command tank for VonIvan. Bit of a blow there. Crusader moving northwards here. VonIvan could be planning here to take up, perhaps. Going for the Panzer Company and pushing for some Panther Force here. Command tank is about to go down here. Neither virus being deployed here to cover, I think, further the retreat here for VonIvan's defeats Panzerkampfwagen 4. It wasn't uncommon to use older model of tanks here for command vehicles. For some of the cases, I think in Normandy, where even Panzer IIIs were used as command tanks for some of the SS divisions, I think at the higher level. So, little fun fact. They're up north, the Grenadiers withdrawing a bit here. Still, VonIvan continues to exert strong victory control against F3rig, and this could definitely be a way he still beats F3rig. South here, Sturmgeschütz moving vorwärts, but we got the 6-pounder gun covering up here, and there you go. Shot bounced so that max range gives the Sturmgeschütz armor. Another Stug out, no Panzer Company here for VonIvan. And the 21st Panzer Division, even as his command tank is in heavy need of repairs.
We have territory cut off from supply.
R-Theta veterans won on that one too. And there we go. The Black Prince has arrived here for F3rig. That'll certainly be an extra headache here for VonIvan, and will certainly, I think, necessitate some more Stugs. A lot of Panzer IVs. We'll have to see, of course, what he does here versus F3rig. Got the recce segment on the center. Command tank being fixed up, and the south Sturmgeschütz advances. Soon enough, I imagine. He's also lost a Grenadier Squad yet to replace the losses there. Guessing Panzer Grenadier for VonIvan, since he would get them out of Veterans 1, and certainly I think that would be handy. Black Prince slowly inching northwards here. Command tank once more good to go. I don't think VonIvan yet is aware of F3rig's Black Prince, though I imagine he's got an idea as a possibility because, you know, he has seen the Crusader anti-aircraft tank. Command tank opening up in the recce section. Actually, just regular section. Oh, it's a regular section. 2 at the flank of the Crusader tank pushing him back. Black Prince taking south sea. Command tank keeps hammering away there at the British infantry there. Sturmgeschütz charging in here. Pioneers wiped out and Stug they engage with the Black Prince. Immediate intense damage here, and I think there's a good chance here. He's going to try and drive right past, I think, in the anti-tanker's line of fight. Another one attempt from the south here. Getting caught here, and we got an incendiary bombing run here. Stug, though, is going to get knocked out by an anti-tank grenade here. A frantic push here by VonIvan. I think an attempt to throw off F3rig for a bit here. But so far has not quite had the impact I think he had hoped for, as one of his Stugs is left burning by the wayside. And now he's done just one command tank and one Stug here, as F3rig has the Crusader anti-aircraft tank and of course the Black Prince. Bit of an issue here for VonIvan. Command tank there moving about. Rounding the corner. Good shot there. Blowing apart Nigel. Getting a bit overly close here. Very close, Veteran 2-1. Gun is about to get wiped out. Try and clear out the 6-pounder gun. There we go. Veteran 2-1. I think that's the first time I've seen a Veteran 2-1 here. Command tank as well. It jumps up for the super advanced ability, which I don't think I've ever seen used so far, but again, that's because I so rarely see the command tank being used, and of course, even more rarely getting Veteran 2-1. Glenn pushed back here. Really rush pop right now for VonIvan. His infantry is... Oh, by the way, that squad somehow survived, which is quite impressive. But yeah, like, F3rig is now meant to kill most of the map here. VonIvan is falling further and further behind here. F3rig, meanwhile, has yet to lose a single infantry section in comparison. So, really tough spot here for VonIvan and the German army. At the moment, we got the Panzerabwehr on 40 in a desperate bid here by VonIvan to turn the tide against the British 1st Armoured Division. Sent north, being grabbed here by the Recce section. Vickers repositioning to defend the northern victory point here against any German attempt to run it down. Crusader tank heading northwards here on the south side. Sappers are digging in here. Lots of barbed wire to keep any unwelcome types off it. So, last party for now, got the Panzerabwehr Kanone 40 ready. Nebelwerfer there, close to Veteran 2. North here, got, guessing, a smoke bombing run here. Yep. Crusader tank, they're counting in here. Sturmgeschütz on the move. Black Prince moving northwards. Pack Fortress moving in here. 21st Panzer Division scrambling here to try and restore order to the situation. To once more push towards victory, but F3rig is absolutely extracting a high toll here from VonIvan with their moving now mates. Glenny's about to get wiped out. Black Prince sitting up here for the south. They're going to flank around here for VonIvan. Could even strike into the base here. Situation for VonIvan remains quite rough. Glenny's about to get wiped out here. Crusader Veteran 2 is making a mockery of things here close to the east level. He actually has this upgraded, but interesting enough, not going for the vehicle training. He's going for infantry and team weapon training, but not the light vehicle or armored vehicle training. Glen's about to get wiped out here. Gets away again. Rather a chaotic mess here. F3rig's almost got an ace level Crusader tank here. And there we go. Got it. This is very bad news here for VonIvan. Well, worse news on top of the already bad news he's being faced with here by the British Army. Stug, pack flying away at the Black Prince doing a bit of damage here. Command tank is fixed up, but I think VonIvan is so preoccupied with other matters he's kind of forgotten about it. Stug, they're heavily damaged, Veteran 2, but looking rough in the Grenadiers are getting absolutely torn limb from limb here by the experienced gunners of F3rig. Glen's about to get wiped out. Pack 40 in deep trouble. Sturmgeschütz now need repairs. Command tank still forgotten here for VonIvan. More sappers for F3rig. I mean, he could make them even cheaper here with the Indian detachment ability, but I'm guessing he's not really concerned with that at the moment. Okay, command tank finally getting a move on here for VonIvan and the 21st Panzer Division. Southeast sappers ready. We got a mortar there lying about here. Gonna fix up the Stug. Got another Stug out for VonIvan. Quite a few Sturmgeschütz there employed in this battle. Quite a few destroyed too, tragically enough.
Present and accounted for, sir.
So VonIvan here trying against, like, you know, get things moving in his favor again, but F3rig is doing an absolutely bang-up job here, making it as difficult as possible for VonIvan to do that in the first place. 2 Stugs, 1 command tank, pack 40 Nebel having a bit of infantry, but his infantry numbers are dropping rapidly. I actually think he might just be down to 2 Grenadier squads now, actually. Yeah, I think he's lost another one, so he's starting to run out of infantry. Meanwhile, F3rig still has 4 infantry sections, now backed up by 2 sapper sections, plus the Vickers. We might even see another wipe here on VonIvan as the Recce sec goes at it. Good shot from the command tank here, though. Very good shot. And easy, looking like they could get wiped out here. Yep, another wipe from VonIvan here in the 21st Panzer Division. Losses remain brutally high here. Hasn't upgraded the Stug there with the pinlock machine gewehr.
enemy is down to 200 points.
Did I detect up further here? Is that just my imagination? It is. So, back to VonIvan.
We are down to 200 points.
We're down to just 1 Grenadier squad now from 4. He's got 2 Stooks and a command tank, and the Needle left and a Pack 40, but overall odds are not great. There we go. Great shot from the command tank here, ripping through the 6-pounder gun. Stooks being caught up here. Paired with anti-tank grenades, so the damage is intense. Black Prince moving in. There we go. Do get an incendiary bombing run, but I'm not entirely sure there's going to be enough in there. Go Stooks, somehow survives another hit from the 6-pounder gun. The other one drying about there, bit of a mess. Cleared out one of the anti-tank guns. Second one about to burn up here. South side here, Crusader tank striking at the Southern Grenadier squad, and that gets wiped to command tank, half HP82, but is now knocked out here. The 21st Panzer Division is being absolutely decimated in this sector here, as VonIvan looks at a total collapse of his forces. And there you go. GG, game over here. A victory for the British Army, a loss for the Germans. A fierce fight here. VonIvan was close, but I'd say that particular salty costing him several Stooks there really gave, I think, f3rig like the option to push back there. He should have, I think, tried to flank more there instead of sending in his Stooks first with no infantry support. There should have been an infantry first backed up by the Stooks. I think that would help out a lot there, but also maybe deploying the White Phosphorus there from the left a bit more effectively. The command tank, while a nice idea, just didn't do much for him. Either he probably would have been better off going for the command tank, or command tank, but the Tiger tank, just taking up for Panda 4s or something like that there. And I feel like those are some of the issues that sort of slowly crept up. They also, you know, either Panzer Grenadiers or Starstorm as the game went on. This replaced some of his losses, would also been very good there. So things in that regard kind of slowly fell apart here for VonIvan. But as I said, of course, f3rig also played well. I think the 4 infantry section strategy days, I think, quite interesting there. I think helped play a role then, slow turn things around, plus some good maneuvers here and there. But of course, you know, that's just my perspective. So I hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but not your enemies. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.